Hey artists, it's Mrs. Alseri. This is your asynchronous art lesson for this week. So, we are going to learn about an artist named Keith Haring, and we are going to move with Keith Haring in this project. So, our social contract looks a little bit different when you're learning asynchronously. So, just make sure you are trying your best, and if you're frustrated, you can always reach out to me for questions. I can draw abstract people that show movement during our class meeting, and I can speak, write, or draw to communicate my idea to others. We're going to start right with an overview of today's lesson. You're going to use basic shapes and lines to create human figures on the move. How do you make a picture of people that are not moving look like they should be moving? We can use action poses and movement lines to create the illusion of movement. Here is an example of what you'll be making today. We will use shapes and lines to create dancing people. This one looks like he's breakdancing. Your supplies today, you're welcome to pause this video as you gather your supplies. You'll need a pencil, one blank piece of paper, and some markers or whatever materials you like to color with. I'm going to outline my drawing with black marker too. So, to create movement in art, it is a feeling of action. These are two different examples. Edgar Degas painted ballerinas. This is a painting from 1874. It's called The Rehearsal on Stage. Look at how they look like they're dancing across the stage, all in different directions. This is another painting by Hokusai called Under the Wave of Kanagawa. This is a very, very famous painting. It's actually a print that was made in 1830. These are really old works of art that are still very powerful today. So, we have read this book in art class before. It's called Keith Haring, The Boy Who Just Kept Drawing by K.A. Haring, and it's illustrated by Robert Newbecker. So I am going to skip this slide, but I think I'm going to put a video link in this lesson where you can watch the story on your own time if you'd like to. It's a really cool book. Here's some examples of Keith Haring's art. What makes these figures look like they're moving? Their arms and legs are bent and they're going in all different directions. There are small parallel lines next to the bodies that show which parts of the bodies are moving. So he did this very often in his work. He repeated these movement lines, which are really fun to make it look like anything has movement in your art. So this is another part where you're welcome to pause as you need to. The next few slides are the steps of how to draw your moving people. So I will read the steps out loud to you, and if you want to pause it after each step and draw along, you sure can do that. So number 1, with your pencil, draw a medium-sized rectangle that is taller than it is wide. So look carefully. See how it's a rectangle, but it's turned on its side, so it's not laying down, it's standing straight up. This is going to be the middle part of the person's body. Number 2, starting at the corner on the left or right, draw a short, thin rectangle going in the direction you want your arm or leg to go. This is the part of the arm from the shoulder to the elbow. You can draw a similar rectangle at the end of the last one. So if you look at their like letter L's, this one's upside down, the other one's right side up. So he has one arm facing down, one arm going up. Maybe yours are both up to look like they're in this, waving them in the sky. So the next steps, number 3, repeat these 2 rectangles for the legs. So make 2 rectangles, decide what direction they'll go in. 2 rectangles for one leg and 2 for the other, so 4 total for the legs. Number 4, draw an oval for the head at the top and ovals for the hands and feet. See how easy?